Let's now bring in former FBI agent, former Navy SEAL, and author of Sheep No More, Jonathan Gilliam, and former special agent in charge for the ATF, Bernard Zapor. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Jonathan, I'm going to start with you here. Just your reaction to that shouting match that happened earlier today on Capitol Hill.
Well, if you want to know why there's a morale problem in the Secret Service and many of the different agencies, there's your answer right there. This individual who is the acting director of the Secret Service, the way he is talking down to a senator instead of answering the question and the yelling is so unprofessional. This guy, every time he gets up, it infuriates me because it's an act with this guy. He's more concerned with the perception of him than he is the reality of what's happening in the Secret Service. And I think whoever is in charge of the Secret Service should be taking a serious look at how the public looks at them and those that they're protecting look at them. And this is not a good day for this guy, because the reality is when he took over, nothing got better, and there was a second assassination attempt. And so you see there that his understanding of what needs to happen in the agency that's supposed to protect these people is not occurring, and he himself shows that he is more offended by a congressman asking him why he's in a picture behind these VIPs rather than the leaders of the detail, and it triggered his ego, so he started yelling. It's just, this is an example of why these agencies function the way they do, because they see themselves as higher than those around them or below them.
Bernard, I also think this is a representation of gross failure on the part of the Secret Service and those at the top. And this is the kind of stuff that happens here. And it's, to Jonathan's point, why things probably got to change even more than they already have.
You know, leadership and cultural repair can't happen simultaneously. And the way that's done is you get to the purest essence of the mission. In this case, there was a failure. You could attribute it all the way up to the Secretary of Homeland Security. They have a very simple mandate: protect the homeland. The homeland is not protected when a former president is treated like a presidential candidate, when there's known international and domestic threats active in the U.S. and abroad for his demise. And then secondly, you have a presidential candidate such as Robert Kennedy Jr. with the family history and the U.S. history that was not afforded protection until much later, until there was actually public outcry. So their mission is very simple. You have to assume that attacks will happen at every venue, and that assassins are in the midst, and that this is going to take place. If you start your planning, your leadership, and your performance measures based on that pureness, then it takes the noise away from all this, and it also eliminates the failure. If you have oversight and your performance is based on that alone.
Jonathan, you said something that resonated with me, and I know also with Bob, because we kind of looked at each other after you said it, but how disrespectful of the acting director to speak that way to Congressman Fallon. I was almost waiting for him to be escorted from the room. It just seems that even just the respect within people in our government has just gone away. Do you think that's something that can be repaired and that will be repaired under this next administration?
Look, as somebody who has a fiery temper at times myself, I've had to learn as I mature as an adult when it's best to pull out the internal drill sergeant on somebody and not. And when you go in front of the American people, in front of a representative of the American people, and you're getting grilled, you should have an answer. And I do believe that all of this can be fixed. And the way you fix it is by firing all of these people and promoting people through the ranks based on skill set, based on achievements and peer evaluations, not political appointees, not people because they're close and they've worked in Congress and they get close to people in politics. Promote people based on skill set and qualifications. And when we start doing that, you won't see this nonsense. You'll see people that understand the job, that are skillful at it, and can speak to it without getting angry and having their ego injured when somebody questions them.
Bernard, do you think this is close to the end of the road for Ronald Rowe? Does he ever become director, not acting director?
Well, today is a horrific violation of our three branches of government. I mean, the purpose the founders had was that there would be a balance and that no one branch, particularly the executive, would exceed the legislative or the judicial. And so you can't have this type of display, and accountability goes to the legislators in this case, and you have to go in there and demonstrate that there's fact finding and resolve to have it. And again, just like Jonathan mentioned, the fact that ego is present in leadership for such a critical mission already just broadcasts a wide failure. Okay. So I would think so.
Yeah, amazing.
Excellent
said. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's excellent. That's exactly what it is. True leaders, they're going to set their ego to the side, and they're going to set standard operations or standard operating procedures in place. They're going to make sure that people are trained on those, and when something's broken, they fix it. They don't go up there, and every time he's speaking, he's trying to convince people that they are better than they think they are. And that's not what a leader does.
Yeah.
A leader cultivates an agency where it is as good as it should be.
Yeah, amazing how so much of it comes down to maturity and also psychology and the psychology of being a leader. Jonathan and Bernard, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it.
Tough to come back from that.
Oh, yeah.
Bad moment there. Coming up, a massive earthquake.